Hi Mark, my name is Tinson. My student number is 56. I am a freshman in NCUE. Tasos Frantzolas. Everything you hear on Front is a lie. I want to start by doing an experiment. I'm going to play 3 videos on a raining day, but I've replaced the audio of one of the videos, and instead of the sound of rain, I've added the sound of bacon frying, so I want you to think carefully which one the clip with the bacon is. Rainfalls. Alright, actually, I lied. There are all bacon sizzles. Applause. My point here isn't really to make you hungry every time you see a rainy scene, but it's to show that our brains are conditioned to embrace the lies. We are not looking for accuracy. So, on the subject of deception, I want to quote one of my favorite authors. In the decade of lying, Oscar Wilde establishes the idea that all bad art comes from copying nature and being realistic, and all great art comes from lying and deceiving and telling beautiful, untrue things. So when you are watching a movie and a full rain, it's not actually raining, it's been added later in a post-production in a studio. All of the sounds you hear are fake. Everything apart from the dark light is fake. When you watch a movie and you see a bird flapping its wings, wing flap, they haven't really recorded the bird. It sounds a lot more realistic if you record a shit or shaking kitchen gloves flaps. The burning of a cigarette after cigarette burns is actually sounds a lot more authentic if you take a small serum red ball and release it. A serum red ball being released. Purchase, punch. Oops, let me play that again. Punch. That's often done by sticking a knife in a vegetable, usually cabbage. Cabbage stabbed with a knife. The next one is breaking bones. Bones break. Well, no one was really hurt. Is actually breaking celery over frozen lectures. Breaking frozen lecture over celery. Left. Making the right sounds is not always as easy as a trip to the supermarket and going to vegetable section, but it's often a lot more complicated than that. So let's reverse engineer together the creation of a sound effect. One of my favorite stories comes from Frank Serafines. He is a contributor to our library and a great sound designer for Tron and Star Trek and the others. He was part of the Paramount team that won the Oscar for Best Sound for The Hunt for Red October. In this Cold War classic, in the 19th, they were asked to produce the sound of the propeller of the submarines. So they have the small problem. They couldn't really find a submarine in the West Hollywood. So basically, what they did is they went to a friend's swimming pool, and a friend performed a cannonball and a bombard. They placed an underwater mic and an overhead mic outside the swimming pool. So here is what the underwater mic sounds like. Underwater bridge. Adding the overhead mic, it sounds a bit like this, water splash. So now they took the sound and pitch it one octave down, sort of like throwing down a record. Water splash as a lower octave. And then they removed a lot of high frequencies. water splash, and pitch it down another octave. Water splash at lower octave, and then added a little bit of the splash from the overhead microphone. Water splashes, and by looping and repeating that sound, they got these propeller charms. So creativity and technology put together in order to create the illusion that we inside the submarine. But once we have created your sound and you have scenes lent to the image, you want those sounds to live in the world of the story, and the best way to do that is to add a reverb. So this is the first audio tool I want to talk about. Reverberation or reverb is the persistence of the sound after the original sound has ended. So it's sort of like all the reflections from the materials, the objects, and the world around the world. Take for example the sound of the gunshot. The original sound is less than half a second long. Gunshots, by adding reverb, you can make it sound like it was a record inside the bathroom. Gunshot reverb in bathroom, or like it was a record inside a chapel or a church. Gunshot reverbs church, or in a cameo. Gunshot reverb in a cameo. So reverbs give us a lot of information about the space between the listener and the original sound source. If the sound is the taste, then reverb is sort of like the smell of the sound. But reverb can do a lot more. Listening to a sound with a lot less reverberation than the on-screen action is going to immediately signify to us that we are listening to a commentator, to an objective narrator that's not participating in the on-screen action. Also, emotionally intimate moments in cinema are often here with zero reverb, because that's how it would sound if someone was speaking inside our ear. On the completely other side, adding a lot of reverb to a voice is going to make us think that we are listening to a flashback, or perhaps that we are inside the head of a chapter, or that we are listening to the voice of God, or even more powerful in Morgan Freeman laughter, so applause. But we are some other tool or hacks that sound designers use. Well, here's a really big one: is silence. A few moments of silence is going to make us pay attention, and in the Western world, we are not really used to verbal silence. They are considered awkward or rude. So silence preceding verbal communication can create a lot of tension. But imagine a really big Hollywood movie where it's full of the explosions and the automatic guns. Loud stop being loud anymore after a while. So in a young way, silence need loudness, and the loudness need silence for either of them to have any effect. But what does silence mean? Well, it depends how it's used in rich film. Silence can place us inside the head of a character or provoke songs. We often relate silence with contemplation, meditation, being deep in thoughts. But apart from having a meaning, silence becomes a blank canvas upon which the viewer is invited to paint their own thought. But I want to make it clear, there is no such thing as silence, and I know this sounds like the most pretentious TED Talk statement ever. But even if you were to enter a room with zero reverberation, and a little internal sound, you will still be able to hear the pumping of your own blood. And in the cinema traditionally, there was never a silent moment because of the sound of the projector. And even into that dooby world, there is not really any moment of silence. If you listen around you, there's always some sort of noises. Now, seeing this not such thing as silence, what do filmmakers and sound designers use? Well, as synonyms that often use ambience. Ambience are the unique background sound that are specific to each location. Each location has a unique sound, and each room has a unique sound, which is called a room tone. So here is a recording of the market in Morocco's was music, and here's a recording of Times Square in New York. Traffic, sound, car horns, voices. Room tone is the addition of all the noises inside the room. The ventilation, the heating, the fridge. Here is a recording of my apartment in Brooklyn. You can hear the ventilation, the boiler, the fridge, and the street traffic. Ambience work in a most promo way. They can speak directly to our brain subconsciously. So bird chirping outside your window you may etiquette normality. Perhaps because as a space we have been used to that sound every morning for millions of years. Bird chirp, on the other hand, industry sounds have been introduced to us a little more recently. Even so, I really like them personally. They have been used by one of my heroes, David Lynch, and his sound designer Alan Spilett. Industrial sound often carry negative connotation. Machine noises. Now, sound effects can tap into our emotional memory. Occasionally, they can be so significant that they can become a chapter in a movie. The sound of the southern may indicate direct interaction or anger. Sound. Church bells can remind us of the passing of time, or perhaps our own mortality. Bells ring, and the breaking of glass can indicate the end of a relationship or a friendship. Glass breaks. Scientists believe that dissonant sounds, for example, breath or wind instrument played very loud, may remind us of animal house in nature and therefore creates a sense of irritation or fear. Breath and wind instruments plays. So now we have spoken about on-screen sound, but occasionally the source of a sound cannot be seen. That's what we call off-screen sounds or Oxmatic sounds. Well, the term of oxmatic comes from Pythagoras in ancient Greece. We used to teach behind a veil or a curtain for years, not revealing herself to his disciples. I think the mathematicians and philosophers thought that in that way his student might focus more on the voice and his word and its meaning, rather than the visual of him speaking, so sort of like the Wizard of Oz or 1984's Big Brother, separating the voice from its source, separating cause and effect, sort of creates a sense of ubiquity or panopticism and therefore authority. There is a strong tradition and acoustic sound, not in monasteries in Rome, and the bands used to sing in rooms, up in galleries close to the ceiling, creating the illusion that we listen to angels up in the sky. Richard Wagner famously created the hiding orchestra that was placed in a pit between the stage and the audience, and one of my heroes, a freight train, famously hid in dark corner of clubs. I think what all these masters know is that by hiding the source, you create a sense of mystery. This has been seen in cinema over and over, with Hitchcock and Ridley Scott in Aliens. Hearing a sound without knowing its source is going to create some sort of tension. Also, it can minimize certain visual restrictions that directors have and can show something that was there during filming. And if all this sounds a little theoretical, I want to play a little video. Toys Chris, typewriter, drums, ping pong, knife being sharpened, record scratches, saw cuts, woman screams. What I saw from trying to demonstrate with these tools is that sound is a language. It can trick us by transporting us geographically. It can change the mood. It can see the space. It can see the past. It can make us dash. It can make us laugh, or it can make us scared. On a personal level, I fell in love with that language a few years ago, and somehow managed to make it into some sort of perfection. And I think with our works through the sound liberally, we are trying to kind of expand the vocabulary of that language, and in that way, we want to offer the right tool to sound designers, filmmakers, and the video game and the app designers to keep telling even better stories and creating even more beautiful lives. So thanks for listening. Applause.